The Paladin has Divine Favor. You could be purging this off right now. You definitely win. Oh, God. Hey, everybody. It's Tiqqle, and in this video, we're going over SixxAddict's 3v3 gameplay from his Elemental Shaman perspective. He's playing with an S-Priest and Holy Paladin. He's asked me to review these clips and to give him some feedback, and he said I can make a video out of it, so I'm going to. And if you guys want to share your clips for feedback on Ellie or other classes, please send me a VOD, send me a link, and I'll be happy to make a video. Even if I don't know the class, I'll get an ex-gladiator that could definitely give some tips and tricks, and as well as some things that I may be able to point out. Now, in this composition, they're going against a R-Druid. R-Druid, they can just spam Purge for days and just wear that R-Druid out. They should be able to outlive the heck out of him, especially with the Holy Paladin and everything else. So, all right, so a few things off the bat. We see this going Sky Fury. We see he's not going Grounding Totem, which is all. You should basically always go Grounding Totem. It could stop a Cyclone. It could stop a Mind Control. It could stop all their Malediction trinkets. You definitely want to be running that. I see you're running the Pack Spirit or the Spirit Wolf traits. I'm not sure if that's because you're Pack Spirit or not, but it's not a bad idea in this composition or ever because of how the current state of Ellie. All right, so we see you guys go ahead opening them up. They're going to sap. They're probably going to either go in the S-Priest. They're probably just going to go in the S-Priest the entire game, but we'll have to see. Let's see how it goes. I would be, first of all, the first thing you want to do is be dropping your totems. Okay, you do have your totems drop. You want to be putting a Flame Shock on the Rogue right away, getting all those dots up from the S-Priest, and the Ellie is pretty strong. I would have already dropped a Earthbind. Earthbind needs to be used on cooldown to keep them slowed. If you can't get Earthbind on them, you need to be Frost Shocking. Now, I think your positioning here is pretty interesting in the room. That other team could push on you really hard and get an AoE Fear, and then they could all be on top of you, and because they have a melee, that's actually in their favor. So they probably are totally fine with you guys being in that room, but they're not really pushing on you. They're playing a little scared. Now, you're going out in the open. You put a little bit of dots. You're running back. You're running up. You're running back. I would say in this position, you just want to start casting on that guy. You want to start generating your Maelstrom and making sure you get a full Maelstrom bar. Spreading your Flame Shock when you can. Yeah, so here I will just point out you just did a full circle around that place, which seems it's probably fine, but you want to be just, if you can, generating your Maelstrom and getting ready to use a big old Earth Shock and lasso. You also haven't lassoed. You could have lassoed the S-Priest, probably would have forced the Rogue out. You guys are definitely playing scared, which is okay. Your Ace probably hodged the S-Priest, which is probably not the best idea because Hodge is a magical stun, which can be dispelled by the Druid. It doesn't look like he's doing that. It looks like he went back into stealth. That's fine. All right, so now you're here in here. They're kind of starting their chain. Now, it is Outlaw Rogue, so it's a little bit different than Assassination, but you need to just be able to start pumping some damage here. Like in the bottom, you can also see your abilities. So far, you haven't casted a whole ton. Let's see. You go ahead and use Frost Shot, or use Lasso, Flame Shock. You just start casting. What I like to do in a situation like this is I will start Chain Lightning if they are all stacked on top of each other, mainly because it generates Maelstrom faster. I do think it's pretty helpful. Now here again, you can just start spamming Purge if you're not going to get too much damage out. You Stormkeeper or you Malediction onto him. You start just spamming him with damage. Maybe he's going to use Cloak of Shadows, but he has full Hots up. So I would say in this situation too, you may want to clean him off of Hots and then get your S-Priest to do some CC or something onto the Druid, which could have been a range stun silence combination, which is common for our Druids, sorry, S-Priests, or you could have went in for the Fear and scared the Druid out of there. I mean, those guys are really on top of you guys. You guys should be definitely pumping the crap out of him. Looks like they are targeting the Paladin now. He used an offensive healing ability, which is good. You got Mind Bomb, not really too worried about that. And so you just got to start pumping as soon as you can, and definitely something that I need to work on too is don't move your feet so much. He just gets wrecked there, so well played. You get a full lasso, trinket. Oh no, he didn't even trinket that. I don't even know how he got out of that. Oh, it was bash. Okay, so you just want to keep doing your damage. Yeah, and so like I didn't even see what happened, but let's just back it up a little bit. I'm pretty sure like you use Stormkeeper, you're doing damage. You're starting to get out of the room a little bit. Yeah, you're just basically putting pressure. Your S-Priest is, I'm looking down at the damage done. Your S-Priest is doing a lot of damage. Just spreading it up. Here he gets low. The Druid goes out to heal him, and now the Rogue is getting jacked up in Void form, and then you're able to just turn at the last second and help. But yeah. The other thing is, I'm not sure where, I think Omnibar, I don't see Omnibar yet, but you definitely want to be tracking some of the cooldowns. So if you do have an Omnibar or a management enemy cooldown management add-on, you want to be tracking Cloak of Shadows, because Cloak of Shadows is the bee's knees when it comes to killing rogues. You need to know when he has a cloak because you don't want to waste any of your big offensives into him for that. So I'll give I'll commend you on you've had totem mastery up the whole the totem mastery your 4 totems down the whole time. That's super good. Really important to have that uptime. You've died a lot of stuff, but I would say in this case your damage is kind of decent. And we all know it's all flame shack. But I think you could have stayed still a lot more and cast, or you could have harassed the druid even more. And the other thing is against this team as well, I'm not sure if your S Priest was purging or how many purges you were really doing, but you could just spam purge and that's equal to applying pressure almost because you're just going to start draining him. So they got jacked up pretty good. All right, let's jump into the next game. All right, let's go to the next game. The next game being an Unholy DK, BM Hunter, R Druid. Again, guys, it is a great news for you guys. You can purge the crap out of him, and there are Druids all over the bracket, so you should be fine. You got in combat, no really big deal. You do need to kind of get in position. This is caster central. This map is what you want, so you want to be able to use this to your advantage. Here, I would recommend putting a slow on this guy. DK's again least mobile class in the game. You want to be slowing him down as much as you can. So okay, here he's AMS. You can't slow that. But you could put Flame Shock up. I don't know if you're scared right now. You're kind of letting him just get his way with you, which is okay. But okay, wow, okay, all right, yeah, all right. You're standing up for yourself. All right, so here, okay, you're hitting the DK. I would say the Druid or the Hunter is probably the better target. You can see here the pet heal is up. You want to start spam purging. It looks like someone's spam purging. I think it's your S Priest. If you spam purge with him, these games will go 50% faster. I promise you that. And you guys, I think you guys are really... Oh my god. He just got punished. Oh, was that an MC on the Druid? Oh my gosh. Yeah, he did get MC'd. MC'd is sick with the full dots, and especially with a lasso or something going on. Damn, that was good. But again, I would recommend... It looks like your S Priest is definitely purging. If you purge as well, this Druid will go so fast. It'll be crazy. All right, this one is actually kind of interesting against this composition, which is so frustrating. This composition is very challenging because they don't need to do anything correct, at all. And if they randomly get a cast bolt, a big cast bolt, and a greater power, you'll just die. And if you're a team that doesn't have many kicks, this is a very challenging team. You can see how they're positioned right now, very far away from each other, which is annoying. Luckily for you guys, you're casters as well. You need to be pumping as much damage as you can, and you guys really want to be on a pillar because you don't want these cast bolts happening like they are right now. But luckily, they put a lot of damage into your grounding totem, so well done there. This is a tough situation. You used lasso. It's a warlock. To be honest with you, the warlock's going to kick it every time unless you're out of the line of sight. You can lasso and get behind a pillar, and that's the only way to stop him from doing from getting it off, really. The other thing here is you really want to be targeting a mage in this situation. In this situation, a mage is not doing the self-healing that a Destro is, so that's a great target. The other target could be the healer, but it's definitely just something to keep in mind of what's preferred. All right, you're against... Oh, this should be a good one. You're against a very tough comp. It's in R Druid, DH, DK. This means you guys are going to need to be trading cooldowns very fast in the beginning. DKs have insane damage. I just leveled one. And the DH has the mana burn, so you guys could be on quite a timer here. The big thing here is you can definitely purge spam the crap out of this enemy team. The only bad news is a DK and a DH have a ton of self-healing, so who knows how effective it'll be. I do not like your guys' positioning behind a pillar. You guys are playing already scared. You guys need to be out in the opening. They're going to now basically start pumping. All right, okay. You guys should be in the open, though. You definitely need to be in the open, and your paladin should be where you are right now, and you guys should be in the middle of the map. That way the druid can't get any CC, and if the druid crosses the map, you punish the crap out of them. Now this druid, the other thing you want to look out for is Innervate. If Innervate comes out, you want to be pressuring him, purging him. Here, your kill's definitely on a DH most likely. You want to be spread pressuring as much as you can. Chain lightning is very good like you're doing it because it will hit all the pets and it will give you Maelstrom for all those hits. Very useful. Now, because of your guys' positioning, you guys are stacked up together. It is very scary. I'm scared. But there goes A-Bomb, though. A-Bomb's gone. That's good. You're giving out some heals. That's okay. They're disrespecting everything that's happening. You can also go for some cheeky hexes here. Oh, man, your paladin is dipping pretty low. Pretty scary. But again, you guys definitely need to be out in the open. That way you guys can help more mind controls, hexes, knockbacks. Also, the other thing is keeping all these guys slowed. A DK is probably the least mobile class in the game. Next to, no, Enhance is more mobile. But you want to be dropping Earthbinds. I haven't seen any Earthbinds come out. You definitely need to be using those on cooldown. The other thing is Purge spamming is very important here. Anti-magic cell, that's fine. You need to be switching on big cooldowns. So here, you could be damaging the DH while the DK is having AMS up. You guys go through it, it's fine. But that's definitely something to think about. I do love your Chain Lightnings. It's looking pretty good. I do see you have this Lava Burst proc that's up. That was wasted. Okay, yeah, 1 and 2. Like, you need to be, make sure that's a big one. You got to be using those on cooldown because that is pressure. But more importantly, that's free Maelstrom. All right, so I see you guys are pressuring. Now, again, I would recommend doing some similar setup to what we said earlier. I would say your S Priest needs to stun, silence the healer. You need to lasso the DH. And your healer needs to maybe hodge or rep or something to the DK. That way, everything is CC'd. The other thing you can do a trick against a DK is interrupt, mind freeze. It's actually a magical interrupt. If you want to, drop grounding and then lasso, and he cannot interrupt you unless he uses a pet stun, normal stun, or something like that. So that's something I would recommend. I would say if you're using Pack Spirit and you're going full Ghost Wolf traits, I'm going to be honest, Ghost Wolfing like you are right now is the right thing to do. You did it on A-Bomb. You're just running them around. The only thing I would say is drop Earthbind and kite them through Earthbind, and they will never catch you, and you'll never be worried. You did a great job here of getting max range to start casting, but you're moving a lot. You just need to start casting. Okay, good. Yeah, your buddy's getting in trouble. Yep, I wonder if you're going to go for the Cheeky Hex. Okay, you're just going to do pressure. That's actually fine. So healer swaps with this composition seems really good. You have multiple Flame Shocks out. Your Surge of Power, which is actually good. I actually really like Surge of Power. I think it's underrated right now. I think, you have multiple Flame Shocks up. Okay, so you're getting this proc in the top left. Oh, okay, you've wasted 2. Okay, maybe 3. I'm watching them. 4 procs. Because you have 3 up, you're getting so many procs. So that's another big thing I would recommend. 5 procs. Yeah, you missed probably 6 procs. But it's okay. I mean, that's not the end. It's not the end of the world, but this is something you can improve on, and it will give you a ton more pressure. So it's good. All right, so the DK is using a lot of abilities. Right now he uses Nether Walk. What I would recommend is stop moving so much and just start casting. Like, a DK can take damage. Like, I don't care what they may not die, but if the Druid, like, your camera positioning makes it a little hard right now, but the Druid has been out in the open too. So if the Druid's out in the open, punish him as well. And definitely start Purge spamming. Purge. He already has 1. Okay, I think you guys are Purge spamming. That's actually really good. And he's just going to die, dude. The guy's just dead because you Purge spam. And the Druid is out of mana, dude. You guys have, I see you guys having serious potential. You guys are doing a great amount of damage. This is one of the toughest comps, I would say. I don't even know what MMR this is. But this is good, man. I see you guys having a ton of potential here. Seriously, I think you need to start planting your feet and casting when you're casting. When your healers CC'd or they have offensive cooldowns up, you can go ahead and Ghost Wolf around. It looks like you have the Ghost Wolf traits. That's a big deal. Next game, you're against a Holy Paladin, Windwalker, BM Hunter. I'm expecting them to train probably the S Priest, but and you guys will probably kill the Windwalker. Windwalker has very short duration cooldowns. Karma actually is way shorter than I think it even should be. But anyway, a lot of people won't like that. But yeah, so you want to be chaining him. So you're already moving around a lot. You could probably Thunderstorm those pets away and then try to get away. But here, okay, you're also dragging him towards your healer. Your healer gets scared there. You can see him starting to move. It's like a freight train coming through with that Windwalker. The other thing is because you're a caster cleave, you actually are okay with standing in the open. So you want your S-Priest to get as max amount of damage and dot pressure as possible. So you almost it's okay to come back here, but almost going into the starting room is probably a better place because pulling the healer out is good. So running away from the healer and dragging melee back is good. But a lot of times, being in the open so S-Priest can get max dots is also pretty good. So here, again, you're spamming some purges. I think that was to get bop off. You're hitting. You're knocking. Okay, so knock was okay to get him out in the open. Now you guys have a great spot. The Paladin's pretty far away. You guys can tee off on this the BM if you need to. Here I would recommend definitely keeping Flame Shock on cooldown, putting that on all your targets so that you get maximum Lava Burst procs. Those Lava Burst procs. Okay, actually I just noticed. Okay, so you turned off the weak aura for Lava Burst procs. I see it up here on the top. one of the things, and it's, a lot of allies are not as good at that, not like the best, can improve, I guess is the best way to say, is using your lava burst procs. You want to be using your lava burst procs every time you get it. Like, you do not want to overlap them, because it's just a lot of, it's damage, it's pressure, but it's also maelstrom generation. So here you have a proc, you should just be dumping that off. Okay, all right, you got so that was one proc. And the more flame shocks you have out at the same time, the better it will be. So here, when you see the malediction incoming, one of the reasons why that add-on is, or this weak aura is so good, is when it says that, if you had grounding totem, you could drop it down and you would ground that that ability. So, all right, so you guys are you're pretty much running around. Your S Priest is becoming a turret. I've done this strategy too. If you're pack spirit and you are just kiting the Windwalker, that's okay if you're going for the long game. But because it's an H pally, you're going to be in quite a pickle later on. The other thing here is you don't ever want to go near any of your teammates, because they can get an cleaving fist of fury, or you can get AOE leg swept, or the other DPS can interrupt your healer or your S Priest. So here again, I would say you definitely need to pick when you're going to run and when you're not going to. So the Hex on Hunter, maybe that was good, so he doesn't get a trap. Haven't seen him trap very much. Okay, here's something good to call out. If you see, the Holy Paladin has used an ability called Divine Favor. Divine Favor heals for like 200% of a Holy Light, and it isn't interruptible and costs no mana. It's basically OP. Basically, I would recommend tracking this on your Omnibar as well, because when he uses this, you should have a focus purge, and I actually have a weak aura I can share with you. I'll link it to you in Discord, because I have you in Discord, and I'll put it actually in the description of the video as well. That this is a huge heal. Now, he doesn't even really need to use it right now, because this will heal someone for like 70% of their health sometimes if he crits. But this is really good for you to track, because if you purge those off, it can be really, really scary and force a lot of, pressure on the healer to, I have to burn more cooldowns, I have to burn more cooldowns. And this guy's just keeping it up, which is a little sad. But all right, so again, I would say, I think you need to just focus on moving across the map and then plant your feet. And then also slowing them all the time. Like here, if you were to think about your movements, they should be very intentional. So I would say, like, right now you're kind of doing circles out there in the middle. I mean, I do the same thing sometimes, and I need to work on it too. But you just need to be either plant your feet or moving, not a little bit of both. Because you can see even between your globals in the bottom left, you can see like there's time between there that you could use to actually do damage. The other thing here is I only see one flame shock up. You should have at least 3, because there's a pet. You should be able to get even 4 up. That will give your lava burst procs. You'll be just, a machine gun. So here you're giving, okay, lasso's good. That is, you should be basically getting setups with that on cooldown. How I like to do this composition is I like to lasso the kill target, have your priest do a stun silence combo on the healer, and then have your healer CC the off target. So the off target being the hunter. So that way everything is in CC, and you're getting a full lasso, and then after lasso, you want to use the Earth Shock at the end. That's what you do every 45 seconds. And that should be able to force a ton of pressure. And I think with a Holy Paladin, this is actually a pretty good comp. I was playing with a Ardruid recently, and it felt good, but we couldn't be quite as offensive and stable, I don't think. Okay, so he does a DR leg sweep. That's fine. They're kind of stacked on top of each other. It looks like you guys are putting some pressure into the Paladin. Something else I would recommend, I don't think I've seen it yet, is using focused wind shear. You need to, and I'm watching the abilities down in the bottom left. You need to be using that pretty much on cooldown for a Paladin here, or at least when you guys are doing your before or after your guys' goes, because that's going to be doing a lot of pressure. So here you could have did it, and you would have been locked out. Okay, he does. He put on a wings. Another big tip. He has Divine Favor, by the way. You can see that right here. Divine Favor's up. You could have purged that. Definitely worth it, by the way. This is also a hunter heal that heals for a lot from his pet. Also worth purging. Purging is something that Nelly has that not many other classes have. Well, I mean, a few more now that DHs have it. But it's very, very strong. So definitely use that to your advantage. Now, another thing. This is another big tip. When you see a Paladin like this, use a huge offensive cooldown. Wings is a 2-minute cooldown. It's a very important cooldown for a Paladin. It basically makes him able to heal through anything. He's going to top his entire team here, I would guess. And it'll only last for 24 seconds. Now, that's probably, what, 11 abilities? So what I would recommend, anytime you see a healer do this, and, you know, the other guys are pretty far back there, they're doing whatever, what I would recommend is you guys spam CC this Paladin through his defensive cooldown. What do I mean? Okay, well, you have a Paladin. You could have hodged that Paladin on this. you could have, that was 6 seconds. Then you could have hexed him after that. And then you can mind control him. You want to waste that. Because let's just say for a second, he uses that cooldown, and you guys waste the entire thing. Now he has no way to get everybody up at the same time. So here he's going to be using all of his cooldowns. He uses, you know, he's going to use Divine Favor heal with his multi-beacon. And he's going to, yep, instantly topped. His whole team is now at 100% health. That was within, you can see, 10 seconds. Those 10 seconds you could have CC'd. I mean, that's actually a challenging thing to do. Don't get me wrong. To get those CC off at a time like that. But not only is it good to CC to force pressure, it's also good to CC to deny recovery. So that is really a big deal. Here's another tip for you. A Windwalker has an ability. I don't know if he's using it or not, but if you use your Malediction Trinket on him, and this is why when you're going against Windwalkers, you have to be careful. You don't want to spam Malediction him, because a Windwalker has an ability. It's called Diffuse Magic, and it will take all the debuffs on him and reverse those back to the players. Meaning if he used it, it would reverse your Malediction healing absorption to you. He didn't use it there, but that's why you commonly against Windwalkers, you want to use one, get him to use it, and I would also track it on your Omnibar, get him to use it, and then spam the other ones. And then also, you know, there's Healer Dispel. So yeah, so this Paladin has recovered his team. You guys are forcing a ton of pressure, though, in crossing the map, which is what I really do like. I think against playing this composition, you can be pretty mobile against these guys. You can run them across the map if you need to, and then you can, you know, kind of plant your feet when necessary. Is that Counter-Strike Totem? I think it is Counter-Strike Totem. But yeah, I don't know how good Counter-Strike Totem is. If they ignore it, sometimes it can be sneaky. So like here, it's actually hitting him pretty good. All right, that was Divine Favor heal again. They recovered. You can tell this Paladin, I mean, he's using his Paladins have to use cooldowns to recover their team. So if you start denying them, like if you start denying Divine Favor, if you start denying, you know, wings and stuff like that, it'll be pretty good. So here, I would say you're scared. I can tell you're scared. You're at 30% health. You're doing the rogue jiggle. You want to either decide, hey, am I going to plant my feet and heal myself? Am I going to hex the hunter? Is my priest going to mind control the Windwalker? Which, oh, he did, yeah. Or what's going to happen here? Because you can't just wiggle. You got to be doing something. So that's definitely something I would recommend. Is healing on Shaman is really good. Really, really good. All right, so here it looks like you guys are damaging some of the Paladin. Paladin uses a defensive cooldown. Whenever you see this is an ability that is a, you know, reduced damage by 30%, I believe. So that was another time you could have purged. Karma's used. When you see Karma, you can just hex him, or you can do some type of mind control or something. All right, he did life swap there. That's totally cool. All right, and you guys are just forcing pressure using chain lightning, which is actually sometimes okay. You need to be using, you know, you need to be generating your Maelstrom to get more damage. Now here again, I think one of the big things that I'm seeing commonly, and I've said it a few times, is spreading your Flame Shock. Flame Shock will be your #1 damage dealing ability. You definitely want to be using that on every target. That's your #1 priority. You are keeping your totems down, which is pretty impressive because, you know, a lot of people do kind of run away from them or mess those up. All right, so here you see Touch of Death being used. Touch of Death is a huge offensive 2-minute cooldown, just like Vendetta. When you see this, you need to communicate with your Paladin and say, hey, am I okay? Because if you're not, like, you need to immediately use your Astral Shift, which is on cooldown. Or you need to be using some type of ability to reduce the damage taken by that, because you'll see it comes in and it just pops. But if the Windwalker doesn't get sufficient uptime, then it's okay, but you really, really want to be using a cooldown into that. All right, here, totems need to be replaced. It's okay. That's, you know, not always the top priority, but Flame Shock is, again, 1 Flame Shock. So here, the other thing, too, is they're moving around a ton. If you just plant your feet right where you are right now and hex, you will get a full hex on that Paladin. And that they have no way to dispel it. You hex, and okay, another big tip is you just lassoed, which is fine, but another big tip is you can hex the hunter and lasso the Windwalker, and you've made it impossible for them to stop your full lasso unless the Paladin stuns you, which is a very, very big thing. All right, there's Divine Favor again. So again, I think you guys are doing a ton of damage already. And your S Priest is really pumping. I think you just need to get comfortable with pumping yourself. And once you, oh, there's the full hex. Oh, okay. Yeah, you just need to get comfortable planting your feet. The Windwalker, you're not going to be able to outrun him unless you root him, unless you knock him back on his mobility. Like, you're kiting him here, and if you guys are playing for just survive, sure, you can Ghost Wolf forever, but you're going to give them some windows for them to be able to get a lot of damage. So it is scary. Oh, okay, all right, okay. If you do have a shear, okay, the full lasso's coming out. Yeah, lassoing the healer while they're not focusing him. Yeah, shut down. Nice job, dude. yeah, so those are the few things. A Hex lassoing, getting hexes out, getting shears out, purging divine favors, using cooldowns on cooldowns. When he uses his 2-minute offensive cooldown, you use your 1.5-minute defensive, purge spamming, and yeah, all right, let's jump to the next video. Let's jump to the next match. All right, let's see this game. This is gonna be a tough one for you guys. It's arms, DH, H Pally. Yeah, they're going to train somebody. I think they're going to train... They probably should train your S Priest, but if they go you, they're going to get punished by you moving around like a Ghost Wolfman. I hope you... Okay, you did not go grounding. But again, I think grounding is definitely the play here. You can ground the DH interrupt and just lasso the warrior so you can get full lassos off easy peasy. You could ground this right now and those types of things. So you have a lot of damage coming on you right now. You have Avatar out by the warrior, and you had Metamorphosis by the DH. You should feel comfortable just using a wall. You know, I think walling and using Ghost Wolf actually probably isn't the best, because you want to use your wall and then turn the tide of war and just start pumping. So like in this case, you haven't really done anything all game. You guys are, I mean, your S Priest is going to get free reign, which is good, but to be honest, you want to be able to come out and force some pressure somehow. So I would recommend getting a similar Goto as I've been explaining. So you want your Paladin to stun their you probably want your S Priest to silence their Paladin. You want to lasso probably the warrior, and then your Paladin needs to stun the DH. Like, you need to try that out. I know it's a lot. It feels like a lot to set up, but if you practice, it'll start feeling really good, because you'll start getting cooldowns coming out of that CC. You already have trinkets here, so they can't even get out of that. If you were to, you know, repeat that 3 times, it should happen every 45 seconds as well. So you guys are just kind of pumping. You're Ghost Wolfing, which is, it's fine, but you're also not really able to get a ton of pressure here. Okay, Flame Shocking is up. You're using Stormkeeper, not knocked. You want to be using your Lava Burst procs to get your Maelstrom going, but it is good news that you have totems down, because totems will keep generating your Maelstrom, you know, pretty nicely. All right, so there, again, definitely get those focus shears and get those interrupts when you switch to Paladin here on Sack. It's really good. You could interrupt him here and probably kill him, actually. Okay, Divine Shield, that's totally fine. All right, so you want to just keep putting pressure. They're switching. The other team is not really sure their strategy anymore. It's very clear because they start switching targets kind of randomly. All right, you want to just plant your feet now and start casting. Yep, there it is. You want to drop your Flame Elemental. Flame Elemental does a ton of pressure. It also does a lot of Maelstrom generation. And then you want to start punishing this guy. The Hex is a great idea. Now, your healer needs to be cutting through the open for you guys to save him. Definitely need that. You're out of range of your totems as well, which is a great weak aura. Link me it. And, okay, full lasso. The DH did not see that coming. He switched targets way too early and too far away. Now, in the open like this, it's good, because to get between the targets, if they want to switch targets, they're going to have to use a lot. All right, so here we saw a lot of stuff coming from the warrior, which is good, but go off the warrior for now. Generate some Maelstrom on somebody else while he has Reflect Up, while he has other things going. Okay, that was, yep. Oh, you guys got him for sure. He, oh, maybe not. The Paladin has Divine Favor. You could be purging this off right now. You definitely win. Oh, God. Yeah, so definitely something to work on. You did kill him anyway, but yeah, that's the tip. Now, I want to just shout out again to SixxAddict. Thank you so much for letting me review these clips, man. I'm going to post them up on YouTube as part of the video, and big shout out to you, man. I really do appreciate it. And if anyone else wants to review clips and give tips and stuff like this, you know, I think watching these videos is really useful. Watching your own clips is really useful. And if you want me to do it, I'm happy to do it. So send me those VODs, send me the links, and thank you guys so much. SixxAddict, you're the man. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.